Hello, metal family. The Christian metal family is waking up today to the startling news that Ted Kirkpatrick has passed away. And I just wanted to spend a few minutes remembering him. He was a great friend, and we go back a lot of years. And I just have some memories that I wanted to share with you, and I wanted to celebrate his life with you. He meant a lot to so many of us. Well, I first remember spending a lot of time with Ted at the very beginnings of the Tourniquet Project. I remember being at his home in the northern part of the United States before he moved to Florida, long before that. And we were talking about the future of this new band called Tourniquet before the first album. And gosh, so many years ago, and it seems like yesterday. And that was the beginnings of Intense Records and the very beginnings of Tourniquet. I've met very few people in my life that have the kind of talent that Ted did. Not just on the drums, but on so many instruments. And so the first album was done. I endorsed it. I was excited about it. Wrote my little Pastor Bob thing for it. And then when it came time for the next album, Ted called me. And he said, I'd like you to play keyboards on this new album. And I said, well, I'm not real good at heavy metal keyboards. Keyboards weren't something that were done in heavy metal, and that's pretty much the instrument that I play. And he goes, no, I have an idea. So I went in, and they were writing this song called Skizik's Dilemma. And he said, I want you to play this kind of satanic sounding calliope. Okay. And he played it for me on the guitar. And we sat there in the studio, and he played it, and I mimicked it on the keyboard. And dun 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 dun. It took me a little while to get it. It was very unusual. But of course, so happy that we did it. So happy to be part of that album and having played on that song. And just such a great time with Tourniquet. Many band meetings in my office with the band, and just a lot of great interaction. When we started the festivals then, jumping forward a few years, Bob Fest in Sweden, I think it was either 2000 or 2001 that Tourniquet agreed to come over and play, and it was so great to have them to be part of the festival. So great to hang out with them once again and spend some time with my good friend Ted. And then through the years, he's just been a great friend. We always have corresponded. Our love for animals we had in common, and I'd send him pictures and he'd send me some, and just a great relationship. He asked me once again if I'd do a speaking part on one of his albums, and I did. Can't remember the name of the song, but it's about a raven, and I did that album. When I wrote my book called Seriously, Ted was kind enough to write a recommendation for it, and he sent me a picture of him holding up the book and told me how proud he was and how much he enjoyed it. Meant a lot to me. So Ted was intense, very intense. Sometimes his intensity wasn't fully understood by other people, but he was driven, he was intense, he was a genius, musical genius. And the things that Ted added to the Christian metal community will be remembered for decades to come. I mean, Tourniquet has been well loved, well received, And there are many of you that are huge Tourniquet fans, as am I. And we're going to miss Ted especially very much. I can't finish this little video without talking about his love for the Lord. Ted was hugely dedicated, not just to his faith, but the principles of his faith, to correct doctrine, to rightly dividing the word, enjoying the presence of God, dedicated to spreading the good news of Jesus Christ through music and as a person. And it's so sad to lose him. We've lost Ted, we've lost Michael Bloodgood, we've lost a few recently. And of course, in the future, we'll lose many more, and that includes me. All of us are going to go to our heavenly reward at some point. But you know, I chose this mug today. I always choose my mugs in the morning, something that I want to see. This is one of our older mugs. It says, "Death is dead." And that's the good news for Ted, good news for you and I, that death is dead. And when we pass from this world, if we know Jesus Christ, we're going to spend time with him in eternity. And I'm looking forward to my next conversation with Ted in eternity. Folks, remembering Ted today and remembering his love for the Lord, his love for music, and the really great contributions he's made to the metal community. God bless you.